I'll give it a clean pull so that they're all the lines are going the same direction. Now, because cutting tile is so repetitive, I've skipped quite a bit of it. But I'm going to pick up on showing you how I cut tile, specifically around these corners here. These are pre-cut. That one's there, and then these two go over there. I have all these pre-cut, and then I have these two pre-cut. So the one I'm going to focus on putting on video is this piece here. It's going to be a full piece, but it's got a little tail that goes up to that line there. So I need to kind of profile around the corner, and then it will come over and line up with this grout joint. Got a pencil, new tile, and what I'm going to do is get these two pieces laid out and for spacing, and hold this one up here. I should probably pull this off. And I'm just going to mark the edge of the, gosh, you guys can't see what I'm doing, can you? Well, you're going to have to kind of trust me. I'm just marking with my pencil. Oops, make sure the tile is level. So I just marked that there. Now you can see I got it spaced, the grout joint spaced right there. And there is a vertical line at the edge of the tub. This tile is held up with the grout joint spacing. And now I'm just going to take my pencil and mark on the side of the tile right there. Now using a square, marking this way, this way. This is a section that needs to be cut, and this is the area that needs the radius, right in here. Now there's a lot of ways to do this. One method is to cut as much out as you can with your wet saw, then you go back in with an angle grinder and a 4-inch diamond blade and start lightly grinding this out. I do the same method, cutting in different directions until I get as much as I can removed, and then I use the wet saw blade to just carve this out. And I'll take the camera out and give you a close-up of what that looks like using the blade, sometimes the side of the blade, flipping the tile over back and forth because the blade has a curve to it, so it's only going to cut in so much on the top side, so then you flip it over to the bottom side and remove more of the material into the corner and flip it back over. And then there's a couple test fitting. You don't want to go too far, so I'll remove a certain amount of tile, come and test fit it. Then I'll mark with the pencil areas that need to get removed more. Go out, shave a little more off, do 2 or 3 test fits, and usually it's good to go. They don't look too pretty yet, but I didn't want to remove too much material on the first attempt, so I'm gonna just match this up here and see what it looks like. And well, it looks pretty darn good already. This is all going to get caulked in. So if you have a a little bump or something, that's not a big deal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that stone that I showed before where I polished the edges. That's what it looks like. And kind of clean up that inside edge right at that radius. And this tile will be done. So this is that stone that I used to polish the edges. And I'm just going to clean up that inside there. Now that all the pieces around the bottom of the tub are cut, including even going out into this area, what I got to do is measure for a new ledger board. And I'm going to put this ledger board up and a ledger board for that wall. And I think I'll get all the tile installed today. I've been putting off going back in the attic and cutting in the vent. The fart fan vent. Got to do that before I move to the floor. But things are moving along quite smoothly. There's only been a few areas in the wall, actually on this wall, where there's been a bow in it and you got to float the tile a little bit. I'll get into that when I get over to that side there. So as you can see, 3 tiles stacked directly on the subfloor with no grout joints fits. So for the ledger board, I'm only going to be supporting 2 tiles, and this one won't fit once the grout joints are put in. And when it comes time to removing the ledger board and putting this bottom row in, we'll have a nice full-size tile that I'm shaving just anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch, maybe up to 3/4 of an inch off the bottom to fit in there as we go all the way around the room. I wonder how many comments my flip-flops are going to get. Now I've got 2 tiles laid on the floor with spacers, and I'm going to take a measurement. That is 12 1/4 inches, and then I'm going to add the thickness of a spacer, and then I will measure down, make a mark, and that's where the ledger boards are going to go. So I've started working my way around. This wall is already, I guess you'd call it, back buttered. And I said earlier, the reason I do that is because it's cleaner, less drops onto the floor. Then I hold this in my hand and I get full coverage, just smearing it this way and that way. Hold on, don't start typing yet. And then I use a couple different shims. Use these horseshoe shims. These are, I don't know what the thickness is. They're thin. And you can stack them. And I also use them with these wedge-shaped ones. You're going to cut this one here. So I put the edge that I want up against this tile, up against the wall, and I mark it. And then I'll just go like that so I know which side to cut off. Take it out to the saw and zip that off and stick it on. Time to start our run down this way. And I think I'm going to go with full tiles and that meet up with these little half tiles. So it's going to be like that. So our first row, or second row actually, would be a full tile. Not sure how it would look to have half and a half and a half. Different methods for cutting this. Drilling a hole, making a cut, using the pattern. This is my corded grinder. What is this one? This one's a Porter cable. And I keep all sorts of, I got lots and lots of different blades in here. Check this one out. Diamond blades, got several of those. This one here cuts circles out. Step one is to mark the crosshairs of where this hole needs to go. This is the center point. This thing usually comes with these double-sided sticky tapes, but I have long since ran out of those. I just hold this over the hole. Give you a close-up what that looks like. And hold it in place. And let her go. Okay, this tile is real easy to cut through. So I'll give you an in progress look at it. So there you go. You can see how easily it's cutting through this. Looks like we're right on. That's it. There's a perfect hole in the middle of a tile. Take two. Piece of cake. Boom, look at that. Dead center. I'll just put a split ring escutcheon on there when it comes time to install the toilet. So the next phase of this project I've been putting off for a while. Mainly because I just don't want to go back into the attic yet. But can't avoid it any longer. And today we'll be putting this attic fan in the ceiling. For some reason these older houses, they didn't have fans. I chose to go with the quietest and the most air that I could find. Quiet was, since this is a small bathroom, you don't need a large CFM fan that's moving a ton of air. This one moves 110 CFM and it's at its lowest rating for sound, or meaning it puts out the lowest decibels. This being plaster, lath and plaster, that also makes it an extra pain in the butt factor. And let's see here. I want it somewhat centered just off the tub here, so it'll be pretty much centrally located between the toilet and the shower. And I've got a vent, an attic vent already right at the peak of the house, just right over this, straight at this line here. So that's the goal, get it fully installed, wired, and ducted to the outside today. And if yeah, that's it. So I'm going to get suited up. First I'm going to clean this entire bathroom, get all this junk out of here, and get the tub protected again, because there's a likelihood of chunks of plaster falling down, could bounce on the ground and then bounce up against the tile or fall down in there. Don't want anything falling in there. So